And good evening, everybody, and welcome here to race number 11 of the Season 1 NR2003 Diva Busch Series. Getting set to go racing for 64 laps of tonight's uh, Bath and Body Works 250 here at South Boston Raceway. Getting set for 64 laps. Anna McDowell starts on the pole position for this evening's race. Anna McDowell comes into this race. As I look through the point standings, on McDowell has had anything but a stellar season. She is 40th in the point standings. Alyssa Albon not doing any better, 41st in the point standings. So two gals coming in this race struggling in the points table need to turn their seasons around really quickly. Isabel Gordon in row number 2. As I'm trying to find the remote so I could shut up the damn TV so y'all don't have to hear my TV. Isabel Gordon, 15th in the point standings, and Azar Amirmoez alongside of her. She comes this race 27th in the point standings. Let's show you the rest of the starting grid. The cars will be rolling off shortly. And here's the top 10 points presented by Golden Corral. Leela Bakai still the points leader by 41 points over Darlene Ward after last week's race at Dover. Caitlin Roy is 43 points back, third in the standings. April Winters, 89 points back in fourth. Angela Thornburg dropped all the way down to fifth in the standings, 93 points back. 97 back is Charlotte Lopez, who was sixth. Balam Kim, big loser, 113 points back in seventh as the cars are rolling on behind the pace car. Alexandria Sarnes is 117 points back in 8th. Chow Dang lost 2 spots down to 9th, and Caleb Ambrosia hangs on to the top 10, 138 points back of the points lead. As looks like we have a caution on the track. Apparently, Balam Kim has had some mechanical problems, so we're going to go green flag racing next time by. First time we've had an issue on the start where the yellow had to come out, so we're going to go green flag racing next time by. Lisa gave these drivers an extra lap to get their tires up the temp, get them ready to go for this critical race. And that's big for Balam Kim, who comes into this race in the 7th position in points. So this is not the start of the race she was hoping for, and she's going to be multiple laps down. Pace car is off. The Bath and Body Works 250 is underway. Let's go racing, girls. Alyssa Albon got the jump, but Anna McDowell will have the preferred line. The inside line is the place you want to be. And she will lead the first lap of the race. A little surprising we get an extra pace lap before we get going. And the 6th, we're being told, is out of the race due to an accident. We're going to have to figure out why that is indeed the case. If we get our first caution, we will investigate the incident of why the yellow had to be put out before we went green. That's a tough break for Balam Kim. That's 2 weeks in a row. Last week had a dismal run at Dover, and here tonight didn't even take the green flag and caused the caution that waved off the green flag, if you know what I mean. So that's a tough break for her, which I don't understand why she had a problem, but apparently that's a tough break for her. Check the back of the field here. See if anybody has any damage or not from that little stack up. Darlene Ward back here in 40th. Came as her second in points. Naguara's back here. Emma Kaiser, of course. A couple of these girls who ran the truck race here earlier this week, or earlier in the season, they have some good data. I forgot to change some paint schemes. I do apologize about that, but second race for Elena Liddy, KFC colors. She'll run some more paint schemes in our next race in 2 weeks at Charlotte. That is the next Diva Busch Series race, because next week is All-Star Race Weekend with Diva Cup. As I don't think anybody has had any damage, so Well, then again, it's a short track, and aerodynamics don't mean a lot. Apologize if the body cream decided to fart. So, yeah. If we do get a caution, we will jump back, look at a replay to find out what happened to Balam Kim. But if we don't get a caution within the next 10 to 12 laps, we will or in a little bit, we will definitely jump back, look at a replay to find out what happened to Balam Kim. So, kind of a bizarre situation, if you ask me. In fact, while Autumn McDowell is leading this race, let's jump back, look at a replay to find out what happened to Balam Kim and why she is out of the race and behind the wall, and a driver who came in running well in points, as Autumn McDowell still leads here at South Boston. Well, here's what happened to Balam Kim. It looks like she had an engine failure on the dummy grid, and as soon as she gets ready to roll off, you can see the black smoke will start erupting on the number 6 right there. And I don't know how. I think the 52 is going to hit her. Yeah, 52 is going to hit her right there. Right there. Do some pretty significant damage to the 6 machine. And, came down into the in front of the 16 of Kaiser. That was a 27 that the 52 got damaged. So the 52 got damaged before we got going. So that's probably why the officials had to throw the yellow flag, because, like I said, that was coming to the green flag and held up drivers like Darlene Ward, who was second in points. So that is a tough break for Balam Kim, who unfortunately, let's get a good camera. Yeah, a lot of damage, and unfortunately, her day done before it even began. So that is why Balam Kim is out of the race due to damage. We are not sure what let go on the 6th car, but that's a tough break for her. Let's jump back to live action here at South Boston. Welcome back to South Boston, as we're on lap number 22, about to start of 64. So now we know where the damage came from, as Selena Diaz, who was involved in that little incident, she's still racing on as planned. And the leaders are about to start approaching lap traffic here pretty soon. Selena Diaz comes into this race, if I look through the point standings, 24th in the points, so she definitely didn't need the damage as far as that is concerned. Leela Bakai running in 15th, came in this race as your points leader. The gal that was trying to run her down for the points lead, Darlene Ward, is all the way back is in 18th. She came in this race second in points. Caitlin Roy is ahead of both of them. As of now, I believe she would take the points lead heading into Charlotte in 2 weeks. Of course, we will head to Charlotte next week for All-Star Race Weekend with the Diva Cup Series. That's a tough break for Balam Kim. Didn't even get going, and says accident, but there's probably a mechanical failure that took her out of this race and behind the wall before we even began. And that's probably why we got that extra pace lap as a result, which I don't know if we'll count that as a caution, to be quite honest with you, because that is coming to the green flag, I'd like to point out. Hanaka Watanabe and Shayla Askarov, who ran here in the truck race earlier on this season, about to go a lap down to the race leader, Autumn McDowell. And if I recall from the truck race, we went until like lap 50-something for the first incident of the race. And I can bet you the Diva Cup Series drivers should be a little nervous about this race tomorrow night. Of course, this race is 64 laps. So was our truck race that we ran earlier this year. That reminds me, I need to put the schedule up so I see what race we're going to next. As April Winters is going to take the lead from Autumn McDowell. There's our first lead change of the night. April Winters, former winner this season. She is also another gal who is trying to run down Lila Bakai for the points lead. She comes in this race fourth in the standings. As Hanako Watanabe is going to go a lap down just past the halfway point of tonight's race here at South Boston. Of course, we were supposed to go on the Bristol Motor Speedway, but I would rather go to a track that's not going to be a wreck fest like South Boston that will produce some good racing. And so far, they're producing some good racing as looks like Olga Scott in the 5's about to go a lap down. And I believe the 25 has gone a lap down. Yeah, 25's gone a lap down. That's Trixie Tang. Trixie not having a good run here tonight. And there's Alexandre Sarnes, who comes into this race top 10 in the points. So both of the JGR cars not having a good run. Alexandre is going to take a hit in the points because, like I said, she's a gal running well in points back here at the rear of the field. Joanna Berg's going to go a lap down because she's stuck on the high side. Jayla Durazin's in front of the race leader. I feel bad for the flagman who has to wave the blue flag to tell the lap cars, hey, the leaders are coming. Well, that is typical short track racing, if you ask me. And like I said, with all these lap cars in the way, it's really bringing the top 5 up in the mix, like Isabel Gordon right there in the 3rd position. Because right now, Autumn McDowell can't get to the bottom, and look at the lead April Winters is getting and how many cars she's already starting to lap. She's already up to Chow Dang. Then she'll get ready to pass Shayla Askarov, who, by the way, will be not returning to the Diva Busch Series next season due to her commitments in the GTS Array before she comes to America full-time. So she's only doing this for this one season only. Probably we will see her maybe in the Cup Series. Who knows? We will have to wait and see. Annie James in the Audubon Ford for Roush Racing going to go a lap down. That will give us 32 cars on the lead lap once the 87 dispatches to 60, and looks like April Winters has done so. First 31 circuits was led by Autumn McDowell. The rest has been led by April Winters, which says to me, we're having some good racing. And I can tell you tomorrow's Diva Cup Series race will be really interesting, but it's going to be a longer race for them, even though we're on a short track, which is their cup of tea. And also for the Diva Cup Series, it is the final race before All-Star Race Weekend next week at the Charlotte Motor Speedway, because that is, by the way, our next points event, that being in 2 weeks' time. So, hooray. And 64 laps has gone by really quick, even though we had that extra pace lap as a result of the 6 car, which we are probably not going to count that as a caution because, like I said, that is, quote, coming to the green flag. Erin Walsh trying to unlap herself, and looks like she has done so as April Winters' car just got a bit tight on her. Joanna Berg trying to reel in the 87, trying to get her lap back, get back on the lead lap. Not easy trying to put cars a lap down, but like I said, it's a short track, and you got to expect the unexpected, if you know what I mean. I can tell you the Diva Cup Series cars tomorrow night will have a fun race, as we'll bring you the Bud Light 400, another 7:30 Eastern Standard Time green flag. Hope you will be with us for that. It'll either be the same distance or will be a different distance. We'll have to wait and see what I feel like. I'm probably going to keep it as the same distance. Wanda McBride stuck up on the outside. And like I said, she's in danger of going a lap down. We only have 33 race cars on the lead lap. Only one driver out of the race. Technically, it says accident, but technically, it's a mechanical failure. Right now, Caitlin Roy just got around Autumn McDowell for the second position. There's her 92 car right there. Wanda McBride trying to stay on the lead lap. As looks like the 87 just washed up the racetrack, got a bit tight there, trying to put the 54 car one lap down. Doing that high is not going to do your tires any bit of good. Right now, April Winters has got to be patient with these lappers. As now she puts Wanda McBride a lap down. Going to try to lap Aaron Walsh again. We're coming to 10 laps to go this time by. Should point this out. And it's almost becoming like our truck race, except we're coming to the end of the race and we've not had a caution, a real caution to be more specific. So, which is pretty good if you ask me. If we don't have any cautions, I hope it'll be the same way tomorrow night in the Diva Cup Series race. And then, well, of course, we'll have All-Star Race Weekend. Of course, we're going to have some one-race deal drivers that will be attempting the All-Star race. Of course, the All-Star Open will be up first. Of course, we got to qualify the All-Star race drivers. That will be at night. Of course, they're going to have qualifying, and it looks like the 30 is about to bring out a caution. That's Alyssa Albon. And doesn't look like it. She just got down the apron, so a mechanical failure for her, and that's a tough break for Alyssa Albon, but at least they cut her a break to get her down the pit road. That will drop us down to 31 cars. Well, probably 30 if Tatiana Guerra stays up on the outside line. As the 30 has made it to her stall. Of course, losing laps left and right like a hot potato. And, of course, if the caution comes out any point in this next 3 laps, soon to be, the race will end under the yellow. There's Selena Diaz. Look at the damage to the left side of her car. Remember, that was from the pace lap, and we didn't even get going. And we already had cars damaged, which is crazy. Excuse me. Down to 2 to go. And this looks like April Winters going to lead the rest of the race, so that's good. As we're going to come to the white flag, as she's trying to move Aaron Walsh up the racetrack. White flags in the air for April Winters in a caution-free race, which I didn't expect that to be a caution-free race, but hey, I'm fine with that. Second win of the year for April Winters. She will win the Bath and Body Works 250 here tonight at South Boston. What a dominant victory for April Winters. Hopefully they don't, well, they're going to bring out a caution anyway, but it doesn't even matter. The race is over. And now standings are indeed official for the 11th race of the season. Caitlin Roy will get second. Great run for Caitlin. This will keep her inside the top 10 of the points. Of course, came in this race third in the point standings, so a big run for her. Isabel Gordon, third place for her, came in this race 15th in the points. Will definitely be inside the top 10 of the points, depending what happened. Autumn McDowell, well-needed run from her, finishes in fourth. So great run for Autumn McDowell. 40th in the standings, absolutely her first top 5. Shanti Darwish, we didn't talk much about the Egyptian driver. 34th in the points, will get a 5th place result. Darby King will get 6th. Great run for her. 38th in the point standings. Definitely a well-needed run. Elizabeth Gardner had a cleaner short track race than what happened to her a couple of weeks ago at IRP with a 7th place result. Mackenzie Cervina will get 8th. Great run for Mackenzie, who came in this race 17th in the points, so she will continue her climb through the points table. Claudia Flores will get 9, so a lot cleaner race for Claudia Flores. And Flores came into this race 39th in the point standing, so a well-needed run for her. And ditto for Prue Granger, who had a very quiet run, as she will come home in the 10th position. Lost 7 spots after Dover. She'll definitely gain those back up through the standings. Top 15 was completed by Becky Sampson. Sydney Ball, well-needed run from Sydney, having a struggling season. Azara Mirmos, Darlene Ward, second in points, who finished ahead of Leela Bakai, who round out the top 15. So it looks like the points are really going to get shaken up. Look on down through the remainder of the finishing results. I know there's a couple of drivers that says retired, but it does not matter. They finished the race either way, so I think NR is being a derping hyena. 29 drivers finished on the lead lap. Selena Diaz, who had the damage on the pace lap, never recovered, was the last on the lead lap. Jayla Derazin, Tatiana Guerra, Joanna Berg, Wanda McBride, Olga Scott, Alexandria Sarnes, Trixie Tang, Chow Dang, Annie James, Hanako Watanabe, Alyssa Albon all finished the race, and only 2 drivers finished out of the race. Shayla Askarov had a mechanical failure towards the closing stages of this race, which is a header, and Balam Kim did not take the start after her engine let go right after the command was given, and then got caught up in the incident with the 52, resulted her behind the wall. So she came as race 7th in points, so that's a big hit for her. And we're going to have to see what the points are going to be like, because, as I said, with April Winters winning this race, I have a feeling she might take the points lead. Caitlin Roy might be second in points going into our next race in 2 weeks at South Boston. But that's going to do it from Charlotte, rather. Excuse me. But that's going to do it from South Boston. Hope you guys enjoyed tonight's race. If you did, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to become part of the PCS Race Crew today. We showed your full finish results. You will see your point standings heading into our next race in 2 weeks at Charlotte Motor Speedway, because next week is All-Star Weekend for the Diva Cup Series. But they first have to finish up their race weekend here, as they will tackle South Boston tomorrow night at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. And then it's All-Star Race Weekend for Diva Cup, as Diva Busch and Diva Trucks will take an off week next week, before the following week all 3 series come back together for some racing at Charlotte. Hope you will tune in for that. Until then, I've been Diva signing off. Good night from South Boston. You've been watching another broadcast courtesy of PCS Ray TV, the best in racing since 2017. We'll see you tomorrow night for the Diva Cup Series race.